Spreadsheets are primarily used for data collection, analysis, and presentation. There are many spreadsheets available in the market. For this demonstration, we will be using LibreOffice Calc. To launch Calc, I can either click on this shortcut which I have already locked onto my launch bar. But if this is not already there on your Ubuntu, you can also click on Search Your Computer top at here and type Calc, C-A-L-C, and we are presented with a shortcut to LibreOffice Calc. Let me click on that and it launches LibreOffice Calc. One of the first things that we notice about any spreadsheet is that it has columns and it has rows. Every column is also named, in this case A, B, C, D, E, F and so on, and the rows are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. And where the column meets the row, it's a cell. For example, if I click on this cell belongs to the column B and the row 2. So the address for the cell is B2, which we notice is also here in the name box. We can type something here. For example, I type name, N-A-M-E, and if I click outside that cell, I'm done with typing. If I want to edit this cell, I could either double click and the cursor comes back, or I could choose this cell and edit in the input line on the top here. I could place the cursor there and type and make edits. I could alternatively also use the keyboard shortcut F2 to bring the cursor into that cell. I'll press the keyboard key F2. I'll press the keyboard key F2 and the cursor comes back. Once I'm done, I can click outside this cell. So this is the basic of how a spreadsheet looks. It has columns, it has rows. Like any other software, this software also has a lot of shortcuts to all the tools. This is called the toolbar, and it also has a menu bar on the top. So let's open one of the files that I've already created. To open a file using the menu bar, I click on File and I click on Open. Menu bar, the file option is used for many things like starting a new file, opening an existing file, saving a file and so on. So let me click on Open and choose from my desktop Intro to Calc and click Open. This opens a file that I've already created. We already know about the columns and rows. Let's look at multiple sheets. Now at the bottom we notice that there are 3 tabs which we also call sheets. This one is called a new sheet. Then I have 2 more sheets called lower primary and upper primary. Let's look at what the contents of this are. I click on lower primary. This is the table that I have, which contains the ingredients that need to go into the midday meals for the lower primary schools. And if I want to keep it separate from the upper primary, I've created another different sheet in which I can keep data about upper primary. I can go on creating more and more sheets if I would like to by clicking on this small plus icon here. So let me demonstrate that. I click on this plus icon and we notice that the sheet 4 has appeared. I could rename this by double clicking on it and giving it a new name. For demonstration, I will just type the word new name and click on OK and leave it at that. Let's go to the lower primary sheet. Now this table looks like something that we can also create in a normal word processor, but some of these numbers have been calculated, and making changes to some numbers here will have a ripple effect on the rest of the table, and that is something which we can easily do in a spreadsheet, and that also is kind of a power of a spreadsheet. So let's demonstrate that. I notice here that these are food items and these are calories per 100 gram, and this is the amount of quantity that I am serving. This column E is the amount of quantity that I am serving to each kid in my school, and the total calorie hence is calculated automatically and provided in column F. And I notice that the total calories is 277.9 calories, and the total goal for me is 450 calories, and I'm in deficit of 172 calories. Now I want to know what can I increase in this column that will take me closer and make this deficit zero. This number should be as close to the goal so that this number becomes zero. I can play around with these numbers and see the ripple effect it will have on the rest of the table. So let me try and provide more rice. Instead of 100, I provide 200 grams of rice and I click outside. That made a huge difference. Now I'm giving 407.9 calories, which is much closer to 450. I'm still short of a 42 calories. What I can also do is I can add another item here, let's say milk or some such thing, or I can increase the amount of dal I'm providing. I'm providing 20 grams of dal. Let me push it to 30 grams of dal, or perhaps 50 grams of dal. So this number has reduced to 7.3 and this number is approaching the calorie goal. This is just for demonstration. These numbers are not to be taken seriously because these numbers are created just for this demonstration. So this is one of the other things that we can do using spreadsheets. The rest of the toolbar and the menu bar are very similar to all the other software that we are used to.